The holiday season is here, and normally I'm more of a Scroogey Christmas hater. But for some reason, be it that my job doesn't suck and actually gives me time off during Christmas and New Year's, or the fact that thanks to all of you, I've surpassed any and all of my subscriber goals here on YouTube, I'm feeling a bit of that old Christmas spirit. So this year, due to all these reasons, and the fact that this video might seem similar to last year's top 10 winter areas video, trust me, it's not, I'm going to be giving the gift of 2 top 5 videos this month. Starting off with the top 5 Christmas stages in video games. There's going to be some absolute classics, as well as some newer games represented here. I've chosen the rankings based on how Christmassy the stages are, as well as just how much I like the stages back when I initially played them. We're getting nostalgic in this bitch. If you enjoyed these videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. Now let's begin.
Number 5.
Christmas Nights into Dreams was released as a sort of promotional demo of Nights into Dreams to help boost the popularity of the Saturn both in Japan and the West. The game contained the Spring Valley stage from the main game, but when played in December, replaces most of the game's original assets with Christmas-themed objects. Instead of a stage, I suppose I'm choosing the game itself when played in December. This stage, however, is completely decked out in Christmas wreaths, bows, and other decorations. To me, this is just so fitting to the original game and its theme of 2 kids and their adventures in their epic dreams. What kid didn't have a tough time falling asleep on Christmas Eve without obsessing over the fact that Christmas was just a few hours away? Anyways, I've always thought this stage or game or demo was a pretty cool idea, and it just suits the game's unique style so much, which is why it's earned its place at number 5 on the list.
Number 4.
There are a ton of winter-themed kart racing tracks out there, but when it comes to the best Christmas-themed one, I've got to go with Frosty Village from Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. This was a fantastic racing game that didn't just limit players to go-karts, but allowed you to fly around and rock hovercrafts as well. Unfortunately, this game kinda lived in Mario Kart 64's shadow, but I do prefer it over Mario Kart 64 in almost every single way. Definitely check this game out. Frosty Village starts up and you're greeted with Christmas trees, cozy little cabins, ice caverns, and some incredibly cheery music. It may not be the best stage the game has to offer, but it just has that feel of driving around at night in a small town or countryside during the holiday season, which always kicks me right in the nostalgia.
Number 3.
Most people consider Twisted Metal 3 to be the worst in the series, but growing up, we loved them all. I'd agree that 3 didn't have the best selection of stages, but my favorite one from the game has always been the North Pole. The level is a nice open area with multiple levels, an upper rim that can give you a great view of everything so you can plan out your next attack, and it also features the home and buildings of Santa Claus himself. I just remember always blowing up Santa's house and village because he had a big free lightning attack. So as soon as the stage started, my friend and I would immediately begin laying waste to old St. Nick's home with machine gun rounds and missiles. This was such a great track from a game that didn't really have all that many memorable moments in the series, so it's always stuck out to me with its variety and openness without being too big that you're driving around looking for people. For all this, it deserves its place at number 3.
Number 2.
I mentioned these a bit in my top 10 winter areas video where I covered pretty much the entirety of Snowland from Kirby's Epic Yarn, but this time I just wanted to focus on the actual Christmas themed stages, Cozy Cabin and Evergreen Lift. Cozy Cabin is definitely my favorite of the 2, starting off by climbing a decorated Christmas tree, then jumping across to the top of a mitten-shaped cabin where you descend down the chimney Santa style and navigate your way down through this perfectly named Cozy Cabin. It just covers the warmth and coziness of the holidays and has some pretty neat level design. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention Evergreen Lift. I always joke that every retro game has to have its own obligatory elevator stage, and for Kirby's Epic Yarn they really went all out, having Kirby ascending with a star to the top of a gigantic decorated Christmas tree. Beating ass and grabbing loot the entire way up, this is another fun little Christmas themed stage in a fantastic, laid-back, cozy Kirby game. These stages just ooze Christmas charm. Before we talk about the best Christmas stage, let's take a look at some of the other great Christmas-themed areas that didn't quite make the cut. Starting with Alton Plaza from Snatcher on the Sega CD. The events of Snatcher take place during Christmas, and Alton Plaza has the odd decoration and advertising. You even get to talk to Santa himself, which, spoiler alert, my next video is going to be talking about the 5 best Santas in JRPGs. Last but not least, I had to mention Holiday Hoarders from the 2016 Hitman game. This mission has you dressing up as Santa Claus and hunting down 2 criminals named Harry and Marv, which is obviously a reference to one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, Home Alone. Before we make it to number 1, if you enjoyed this video so far, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. Helps me grow the channel and helps you to be able to catch the next videos. Now let's wrap things up.
Number 1.
Number 1 is none other than the Tsukimino area of Sapporo in Yakuza 5. This game brings back Saejima after busting out of prison and escaping to the snowy northern area of Japan known as Hokkaido. Once he finally reaches civilization, he finds himself in Tsukimino in the middle of the Christmas season and ice sculpture contest. The shops are all decorated for the holiday season, and best of all, there's a sub-story called the Santa Hunters where a bunch of kids apparently keep beating the crap out of local store Santas, and it's up to Saejima to dress up as old Saint Nick himself to lure them out and teach them a lesson. After finding some kids that start to get angry he doesn't have any presents on him, Santa Saejima's gotta give him the slip, only to be met by the actual Santa Hunters, who are a bunch of dickhead adults ready to lay the beat down on him. Unfortunately for them, they're messing with Taiga Saejima, an escaped convict and martial artist. I loved all of Tsukimino and Yakuza 5, despite it not being my favorite game in the series, but it's the Christmas elements and sub-stories that really make this area stand out. I love just walking around in the city and enjoying myself during the holiday season. For all this and more, Tsukimino is my number 1 Christmas stage of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, my next top 5, I'll be counting down the top 5 Santas in JRPGs. Hope you're looking forward to it. In the meantime, come hang out with me live on Twitch as I play some Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince at twitch.tv/Dookie03. Thanks for watching, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.